Hey, Shalom, Markim, Rakam, Kapash, from Jim Islam, giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashemi, Hawashai, Bashem, Chakwadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom at there to the whole for that's pushing his truth and all sincerity. Back again, which, just with another quick video. I wanted to quickly just talk about, the coming winter, man. Because, yeah, it's sounding like it's going to be a dark and cold one, real tough and, difficult for people to deal with. Right, considering everything that's going on there. And I've got a couple of articles here, I'm just going to kind of go through a little bit. Because, things in this kingdom, just go from bad to worse, right? And it's, it's everything that we said it would do, right? This kingdom isn't going to go from strength to strength and, revive and be better than it ever was and all this shit, right? It's in decline, right? And everything in it is declining, and you people, are the ones that are going to suffer as it declines, man. As the elites, push the demolition button on this place, right? They're going to be all right, you know what I'm saying? But you people out here, you're going to be suffering, okay? And by the time winter comes, man, with everything gone up in price, the energy bills and that kind of stuff, raising up, okay? You ain't able to afford too much anymore, okay? The foods, prices are going up, so you're going to be stuck in a difficult position, and it may be that you can't even get, electricity and gas and fuel, so, or food come this winter, right? So, this winter looks like it's going to be a tough one, right? And, they mentioned the blackouts and stuff like that. It was a hose ban, apparently, just announced the other day, first of the year, because of the heat waves and that. Everything in this kingdom is just falling apart. You know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to watch, man. All the problems that this place is having, man. Knowing that, you people have to face that at some point. We're gonna have to face it too, yeah. But we got Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, okay, which the majority of people don't have. You ain't got that lifeline, right, to help you through those difficult moments, man. But anyway, let's crack on, man. This is an article from the Times, or sorry, Time, right? It says Europe relies on Russian gas. A tough winter lies ahead amid fears of a cut-off, right? Russia's sitting in a kind of strong position right now. Okay, let's be honest about it, all right? And any moment, I mean, they already shut down a large portion of gas going to Germany, and from Germany through this Nord Stream, right? It feeds other European nations, right? And Russia could decide to cut it all off and leave you with nothing, okay? With your little reserves, you man don't want to go into your coal mine, your coals and all this, what to call it, is, the old technologies, to produce energy. You want to try and be clean, right? Because it's the whole push to be clean and green, and that's just agendas to fuck up shit too. Man ain't got the fuel or the energy required to sustain their nations, man. So they have to rely on Russia. But now Russia hold the keys and Russia hold the cards, And you don't want to play nice with Russia, so Russia ain't gonna play nice with you. It's really quite simple, man. So hey, man, they could just flip it off, and yeah, man, you lot can freeze to death. A lot of people, because people die in winter, man. Especially the elderly, people die in winter. All right, and that's with heating. And they can only afford a certain amount, whatever. But people die in winter, man. Winter's never a comfortable time, and when it gets cold and it gets bitter, it ain't a comfortable time, man, especially when you can't heat your fucking house. Anyway, it says European leaders' relief over last week's resumption of natural gas flows from Russia's Nord Stream 1 pipeline was short-lived after the Kremlin announced on Monday that it would reduce supply to the EU from Wednesday. The flow of gas from Nord Stream 1, a vital undersea pipeline that links Russian gas to Europe via Germany, had initially been halted for 10 days from July 11th for what Russia says were maintenance issues. The pipeline is currently operating at 40% of its capacity, but that figure will drop to 20% from this week. Right? So yeah, you're getting cut down big time, right? So the EU has previously accused Moscow of energy blackmail, and on Tuesday, the bloc's energy ministers struck a deal to reduce gas consumption by 15% from August to March amid fears of a total cut-off in the coming winter months. It says Russia is the main supplier of gas for many European countries, which is used to heat homes in winter and power industries. Your industries will go down. They can't supply the energy and the heat, or whatever is needed, right, to run that industry, man. You have to shut down, right? The resource has become a focal point of EU-Russia tensions, with Moscow having already cut off gas to 6 countries and reducing supply to 6 more in response to the bloc's sanctions over the war in Ukraine. The EU has been planning for the worst-case scenario, seeking additional gas imports from countries such as Nigeria, and has told Time that to secure European energy security, the bloc will need to continue to encourage demand reduction and invest in green energy alternatives. All right, so they're talking about cutting usage, and we're going to seek gas and electricity from other nations, man. Where you ain't really properly set up to do so, but it ain't gonna come quick enough. Okay, all this investing in new technologies and it ain't gonna come quick enough. That's long term. You got to deal with the short term, man. You already can't sustain yourselves with what you can do by yourself, right? That's why you're relying on Russia. Okay, so that ain't gonna help you right now. Okay. So let's see. It says, but the war in Ukraine exposed the flaws in Germany's high-risk strategy, right, for doing the business with Russia, right? Says Lau, says as Russia is leveraging its control over gas exports to increase pressure on European leaders, right? Like I said, Russia's put themselves in a strong position right now, and the rest of Europe kind of have to bow to it, essentially. I know they're talking about alternatives and all this business, but really, Russia kind of got them by the balls, man, and Europe they ain't set to have a nice winter. Okay, these energy prices, it's only going to go up. People are going to find it harder and harder to afford these price increases. Let alone, let's say, dealing with the food issues as well. The prices of food going up, prices of petrol and diesel going up. All these price rises, people are not going to be able to deal with them. It says Russia currently supplies around 15% of Europe's natural gas, well below pre-war levels. That decline has sent energy prices skyrocketing and is contributing to a cost of living crisis and economic anxiety across much of Europe. Moscow's latest announcements has already stoked those concerns. So Russia is blackmailing us. Russia is using energy as a weapon. What would you expect? Okay, you poke the bear, and these are the type of things that's gonna happen, man. Okay, because you haven't been playing nice either. It says so therefore, in any event, whether it's a partial major cut-off of Russian gas or total cut-off of Russian gas, Europe needs to be ready. Yeah, okay. But anyway, that's enough of this article anyway. Alright. Russia holds the cards on this, so depending on what goes on with Russia and how you want to deal with Russia, depending on how cold your winter's going to be. But this is from the Sun, and this one goes into blackouts. It says blackout warning: households could be told to cut back on energy to avoid blackouts this winter. All right, and blackouts ain't a nice thing either, man. All right, you get all kinds of demons come out in the dark. All right, people are gonna be doing some mad stuff when it's a known blackout. All right, but Yeah, it says millions of households could be asked to turn down their thermostats and switch off their lights to avoid blackouts later this year, right? Because they're not going to be able to cope. All right, it says the government has drawn up a number of emergency contingency plans for a gas and electric supply shortage, which would include appeals for the public to use less energy at a time being winter where you use more. Right, you tend to use less during the summer. You don't need so much gas for the heating, right? Electricity is probably used around about the same, but gas you don't need to use so much in the winter, in the summer. But we're coming into winter, right? It gets used a lot, right, to keep the house warm, and they're gonna ask you to not to use so much, right? Because of their, their decisions that they're making, right? Says the National Grid has already held meetings with senior staff from energy-intensive industries to try and avoid blackouts or supply shutdowns following concerns of possible future shortages. Several European countries, including Germany, Austria, and France, have already appealed to their citizens to cut their energy use by taking shorter showers and switching off lights. So, an official contingency plan seen by the Telegraph revealed the UK government could put similar measures in place to avoid blackouts this winter. Right, so these nations that we're living in are supposed to be, high and mighty and so great, Great Britain. All right, them men are talking about blackouts, man. That's something that happens in these so-called lesser countries, right? Dealing with power issues, but it's just like we were saying, right? This kingdom's in decline. Okay, you're getting pushed into this condition. The Heavenly Father is bringing the plagues and the curses upon this place. Right, so we're gonna suffer all these types of events, man. Okay, have all these issues to deal with, man. That these people out here in the West and these so-called first-class nations ain't used to, man. Okay, you're gonna be really uncomfortable, right? You're gonna find it really hard to deal with, right? So appeals to get households to cut down on electricity and gas could be delivered via radio, TV, social media, and posters and leaflets. Right, so they're probably preparing for blackouts, man. So the National Grid could pay large users to switch off to avoid cutting other supply. Alright, so they're willing to pay, man, to keep the power down. So the supply of gas to Europe and Britain have been reduced in recent months following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Okay, which we just read in another article. So the UK government ministers have already warned around 6 million British households could face power cuts this winter. Alright, so it ain't looking good, man. It ain't looking good at all. Alright, so let's get the scriptures, man. Because as I say, things are just going to get worse. Things are getting worse. Alright, and at the end of it, man, you people are going to be struggling. Okay, this whole world is going to change. Okay, it ain't going to be what you're used to. Okay, you're going to enter a whole different era. Alright? Yep. Alright, it's 2nd chapter 16 verse 37. It says, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment." Okay, these places, these countries are just going from one thing to another, man. Okay, it's one bad thing after another. Alright? Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn. Right? The world is not in a good state right now, man. And there's nothing but complaining and, vexation right now. So the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side, right? And like I said, it's going to get worse. Like, there's going to be more and more people in this condition. Okay? So even so, sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims on the earth. Right? Let me see. You know, 'cause even for us, man, you know, when the time comes, man, we'll have to up and leave, you know, places and possessions and whatever, man. Because things are gonna get so crazy out here, man. It ain't gonna be, you know, safe to stay in one place, or, you know, where you at can't do you no good no more. You know, there ain't no point being there. You know, and people are gonna be. We always see those post-apocalyptic movies, right? And just people wandering, man. You know, setting up camp and moving from place to place, trying to find, you know, find resources or whatever. That's how bad things are gonna get, man. You know, you want to see it right now. You know, you think everything's, you know, somewhat comfy, right? But it's not gonna be comfortable anymore. Things are gonna change. All right. And in the same chapter, I'll just jump up to verse 17 here, right? It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, right? Perilous times we're going into, right? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, right? This is all what's coming, right? The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? All right? And that's the time we're coming into, man. And this is, you know, this is like the beginning of all that hardship. Okay, people's lives are going to change, man. Okay, for the worse. It's Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. You know, people haven't seen anything yet. Okay, you people take, you know, the lives that you live for granted, thinking that things are always going to be the same, you know, there or thereabouts. You know, but there is going to be a drastic change coming to everybody, right? As this place, you know, falls apart. You know, this is and at that time shall thy people shall be delivered, everyone that is found written in the book, right? So like I mentioned earlier, we got Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, right? So we believe the Lord is going to protect us in that day if we be of the elect, right? So even though, you know, the world is going to go through, you know, this crisis, right? These problems, these troubles, these evils, right? The Lord is going to protect his men and provide for his men. Okay? It's Mark chapter 13, verse 17 says, but woe to them that are with child and to them that give suck in those days. Right, in this time of trouble, right? It says, and pray ye that your flight be not in the winter. And like I mentioned, winter's never a great time, man. It's always a, you know, difficult time. It's a harsh time. Right? When it gets cold, man, it gets uncomfortable, man. It hurt, you know, it's not nice. Right? And you find yourself in a situation that you know, shit's hit the fan. You know, you don't know what kind of situation you're gonna find yourself in, man. But you don't want to be having to deal with that during winter, man. That's a hard time to deal with it, man. So, you know, it's not looking good. Ain't looking good, bruv. Right? Ain't looking good for this winter. Okay, and what people are gonna have to be dealing with. Okay, like I said, all your prices are rising, inflation is rising, interest rates are rising. You know, people might be, you know, well, definitely people are gonna be losing their houses during that time too. And they have to deal with that. You know, people out on the street and whatever. Illnesses. You know, you got the plagues and pestilences still, you know, rolling around this place. Monkey bars and all that kind of monkey business, you know. So there's a lot of things out here right now that's really destroying this place. Okay, and you're gonna find yourself in that, you know, uncomfortable position, man. Right? This is for in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, which God created unto this time, neither shall be. And except the Lord has shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. Right? The way this world is going right now, man, you know, everything would be gone. You know, the Lord is going to hold back the days and you know, hasten the days essentially, right? Shorten the days for his elect's sake, man. That we don't get to that point where everything just gone and destroyed. The Lord is going to take care of his elect. All right? It says, but for the elect's sake, whom he have chosen, he have shortened the days. Okay, so the Lord ain't going to let it get that far where he sort of just, you know, destroyed everything. You know? This is from 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right? So, you know, going into the blackouts and stuff like that, you know, people that ain't got shit, because there's people that ain't got shit now, you know. When the lights go off and, you know, nighttime comes, right, and you ain't got no light, you know, you asleep or whatever, you know, these people that have not, man, are going to come and take what you got because they haven't, you know. And in that time, there's going to be a lot of people lacking a lot of different things. You know, as the time rolls on, right, as things get more and more difficult, you know, for one reason or another, man, there's going to be a severe lack of a lot of things. Okay, and people are going to come in hunting. People are going to come hunt for the things they don't have, you know, to protect themselves, to protect their families, you know, to survive. Right? And you people that have got things, man, you're going to get caught up in that. Simple maths. All right? Eventually, these situations, man, these scenarios are going to get everybody. Right? It's just for great tribulation, man. Great tribulation is about to come on this place. All right? And you know, like I said, you got to deal with this this coming winter, man, and see what goes down in it. All right, but you know, that's what I really wanted to bring out. So Lord willing, this is edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video, man. So next time I say shalom.